Welcome back to the Manor. Julian McBain here, and this is my 33rd Saturday vlog. So as you can see, I'm still doing migration. I've got just under 200 mobs before I finished Iron 4, which is good because it's taken me like a month with a little amount of time I've been able to put into it. Tell me I have Shrap. Okay, good. Not a lot of Shrap, but I got Shrap. There we go. It's you know, as little as I've been able to play migration, it's been really good to me so far. I am not going to complain. So I've been getting a lot of, or not a lot, but I have been getting questions on my comments section. I just want to take a moment to thank those who are asking the questions, because that really helps me with creating the next video. And some questions I can answer right in the comments section, others do become videos. I had someone ask if Entropia was free to play, that became a video. And now I've had someone asking me how land areas are, how to operate a land area. And although that's going to be tougher because I've never done it, I do plan on doing a video of it. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure when that's going to come out. That may not be tomorrow's video, that might be Wednesday's video, because I do have to do a little bit of research into it. Like, I get the basics, because a land area is basically a business, but the nitty-gritty of how to actually, like, seed it for mobs or whatever is not something I'm experienced with. So I might go back and take a look, try to find some sort of information on it. But for those of you who are posting questions, thank you. And for those of you who have contemplated posting questions, please do. Please do. It helps me derive topics. I might answer you in the comments if it's an easy answer. And if it's not an easy answer, then I'll turn it into a video. Here we go. Oh, I'm not even using a pill, good lord. So, I had forgotten how busy August is for me, and this August is just bug nuts. Like, seriously crazy. You know, in addition to regular fencing lessons every week, I'm going to Texas at the end of the month. I'm going to make sure the channel's set up for that. So, hopefully, you shouldn't see any real difference in content. You should see it come out. It should be, you know, pretty even keel. Maybe I'll put a couple blurbs from Texas while I'm out there, but overall, you shouldn't see any difference between when I'm gone and when I'm not. But I mean, in addition to that, you know, it's high summer, so constant yard work. This is Vermont. It rains so much here that in the week between mowings, your lawn will turn into a shag rug. Like, I am not kidding. You know, I lived in the Midwest for almost 10 years, and most of the time in the Midwest, you can get away with not mowing your lawn for 2 or even 3 weeks at a time. Not in Vermont. Sometimes you have to mow it twice a week. And we're not talking some little, you know, half-acre, do it with a push mower lawn. No, we're talking 3 acres of grass to mow. Like, no joke. And the sad part is, when I was a kid, when we first got the house, I did it with a 22-inch deck push mower. That was called a Saturday. All of Saturday was mowing the lawn. I wish I was making that up too. Like, I'm not trying to, you know, do the old man in my day. I did it this way. No, seriously. We still have the lawnmower, or what's left of it. Oh no, we finally got rid of it last year. It was only 20 years old. Finally scrapped what was left of it last year. It was in the shed for like the last 15. And then, you know, regular fencing lessons on Sundays, the Texas run. Next weekend, I have an event I'm doing. Again, you won't see any difference in content creation. I am going to have to plan a little better than I did this week, but you won't see any difference in content creation. The week after that, I think, is the only weekend I don't have anything. And even that, I'm not confident on. And then the weekend after that, I travel to Texas. And after that, and then Labor Day. Labor Day, I'm in New Hampshire for an event, for a fencing tournament, which I'm really looking forward to. I've been to 2 tournaments this year. My goal was 4. This will be tournament number 3. So I do have to find one more event before the end of the year. One more tournament to go to. But overall, I'm having a fairly successful year with meeting my goals. I should pull that list off of my door at some point and review. In fact, while I'm shooting this mob, there we go. That's the beauty of Entropia. You can just hit the auto attack button. But what's 2019 goals in review? Eat out less than twice per week when not traveling. Pretty much accomplished that. And I've even reduced, you know, I've gone from like McDonald's to where if I do eat out for a day, it'll be the Hannaford's Hot Bar. And that's pretty much gone down to once or none, no times per week. Admittedly, part of that's because I've switched to shakes, so I have more time on my lunch break to do other crap. So trying to maximize my time is more responsible for that than me trying to eat healthier. Continue to release YouTube content 7 days a week. I think you can tell I've accomplished that. Achieve 150 YouTube subscribers. That's still a work in process, but we are definitely getting there. We're at 111, I believe, as of this morning. Let me double check that. And 111, so we're getting there. Not quite there yet, but we're definitely getting there. Considering I started the year with like 48 or 50, not complaining. Reduce drinking to 2 standard drinks per day. That's still a work in process, but I have significantly reduced. Attend 3 practices per month, I do that. Fighting 4 tournaments. I've got 2 out of 4, and the 3rd one's already planned. Passed my Black Scarf test. That's the Black Tigers I told you I keep talking about. I passed that back in January. Establish and keep a regular sleep schedule. That's essentially done. I do allow myself to sleep in some weekends. Like last night, I was up super late, so I allowed myself to sleep in this morning. I also drank a little harder than I like to, or I normally do. My friends and I were all online. We were playing a game, and it's been a hard week. So, I mean, I'm making an excuse now, but that's the reason behind it. When the hell did the long-toothed owls show up? No wonder this is... It's like, wait a second. Why is it taking so long to kill this thing? No global. And then write at least once per week. I've essentially accomplished. I'm not journaling so much anymore, but I've got the blog. I'm working on several manuscripts, which I've got to... I actually like to sit down and finish one of them. Like, just finish one. But I am writing regularly. So, the goals I set for myself in January, the majority of them I have accomplished, or I am well on my way to accomplishing. And there's another one. Good lord. What the hell, Minarch? And he's already aggroed. Why is it spawning? Oh, it's like matures makes sense. And then having the one like gigantic 24 works. But why is it spawning olds, and why did it spawn a second one right next to me just after I killed the first one? It's like, come on, Mindark. I do have other goals, like I've got a list of meta goals. I think there's like 15 of them. But these are goals that I don't expect to accomplish this year. Maybe I'll read those off to you sometime. I've got them in my notebook, which is currently out of reach. But I'm really happy. I've really refocused, trying to rebuild on how I do things, and so far I have been modestly successful. Now I've learned to set goals, or I'm learning to set goals and actually figure out what it takes to get there and actually accomplish them. You know, good things are coming. At least I like to believe they are. And then, you know, in January, I'm going to look at what I've accomplished and what I might have failed to accomplish, and then reset and do the whole thing again. Because it's like I like to say in my McBain Moments videos, it's all about iteration, right? We got to you set the goal, and then you strive for the goal, and then you make an attempt, and if and when you fail, you figure out what you did wrong, and so you eliminate the piece that went wrong, or you correct the piece that went wrong, and you do it again, and you do it over and over time you will make it to those goals. You know, like my drinking reduction. Last night I had more than I should have, but overall I'm maintaining a lower level of drinking, and I'm going to lower it again at some point once I can maintain that even keel at the reduced rate, and then push it down again. And so it's a matter of iterative attempt, and the more I iterate, the more successful I am. You can't give up, and you have to understand that sometimes the process of achieving a goal is a matter of discipline. Now, I've got fairly good discipline. I'm not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, and I get tired sometimes when my discipline slips. Yesterday was a good example of that in several corners. But it's one of those things where you just, when you make a mistake or when you screw up, you pick yourself up and you get back on it, and you keep running at it. You know, it took me 5 or 6 attempts to quit tobacco. My longest, the closest I got to an absolute success before I actually succeeded was a year. And currently I have been off tobacco for 2 years. 2.5 years. I think. It's 19... When did I quit? A year and a half? Year and a half to 2 years. It hasn't been a huge amount of time, but it's longer than the last time. So... And I'll admit, there are days I miss nicotine. There are some days I seriously miss nicotine. But I don't miss the cost. Especially since it got a lot more expensive when I moved back to Vermont. And I don't miss the way it made me feel. Well, no, that's not the nicotine, the tobacco itself, because there's other things that come with tobacco, right? You know, it makes your teeth look crappy, because I used snus. It makes your teeth look crappy. You know, it makes your gut feel bad. And to be fair, I wasn't eating the greatest at the time either, so just overall, I'm in better shape now than I was when I was using tobacco. Dodge, Jesus. And so that was a goal I set for myself, and it took me attempts, and it took me time, and it took me, well, in the case of tobacco, it took me patches. But I did it. I made it. And I was never a heavy user. Like, I ended up starting, so you've got the 3-step patch program. I tried using patch number 3, and that actually became a problem. So I ended up dropping it to 2, and I only wore it during the day instead of wearing it all the time like you're supposed to. And I was able to wean myself off without very much, you know, without real incident. And so because of that, I'm saving myself like $90 a month. You know, $90 a month. Think about that for a second. And I wasn't a heavy user. I know there are people who buy a pack a day, and they're like $9 a pack here. I couldn't imagine spending that much money. Well, yes, I can, which is why I quit, but... So what happened to all that money? I put it into Entropia Universe. That's okay. This has more potential. Oh, geez. So yeah, I'm happy to report that I am steadily working toward my goals. And you'll notice I didn't set any ridiculous goals for the year, right? I chose 9 goals that I knew were achievable, that would improve some aspect of my life, and I worked toward them. And so, like, one of them is not entirely something I can control. Like, I can't control whether people are going to hit the subscribe button. Speaking of which, have you subscribed yet? If you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, please do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time. You know, I can't control if someone's going to subscribe, but what I can do is I can provide the value of content that people would want to subscribe to. And I hope that I'm doing that. I appear to be doing better than when I started, which, you know, all of these take time. I'm watching other people's content on how to make better content. Like right now I'm watching a lot of Sunny Lenarduzzi, and her entire shtick, it's not even a shtick, her entire thing is how to be a better YouTuber, because she's a internet marketing person. But, you know, very wholesome. You know, you've got people like Dan Locke and Grant Cardone, and they're very to the point, and, you know, get your ass out there and get your business running and make those calls. And that's important. That's the drive, right? And they're both Dan's in sales and Grant's in real estate, but they're very drive home, to the point, get off your ass and do the thing. Whereas Sunny's more like, share your genius with the world. You can do better. Very uplifting. And so the combination of the two is very important. But I think that's helped to derive the larger subscriber base, and I think that's helped to make the content that I create better. And, like, as you all know, the vlog is kind of my outlet, right? This is where I kind of share the random crap that goes on in my head throughout the week, and I just kind of blurt it out onto the vlog once a week. Or this is my half hour of just random shit. And thankfully you all put up with me for it. But after I've noticed a distinct increase in the number of subscribers, so I want to thank all of you, and I feel like I'm putting out better content overall. And if you think I am, please let me know, or more importantly, if you think I'm not, please let me know, so I can try to look at things and go, okay, what am I doing wrong here? Things I'm going to be looking at, I'm going to be refining the McBain Moments segments, because I think I'm doing okay, but I feel like I'm either getting repetitious or they're not necessarily as good as they could be. And part of the reason I think that is I tend to do the McBain Moments on the mornings that they're due. And I do that for a couple of reasons. One, because that's usually when I have time to do them. But more importantly, I feel like under the pressure of having to do it in one take, it's all or nothing. And I feel like that pressure sometimes is necessary. And because they're so short, I can usually afford to do one retake. Just one. Like, I've only I didn't even get the full 8 minutes. I think I went 4 minutes. And then something went horribly wrong. I think the camera fell or something. But it's the one take nature of it. And I like the pressure. But I think I need to refine it a little bit more. Like, I like what I'm doing, and I like how it's working, but I think I need to refine it a little bit more. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at that and try to figure out how I'm going to do that, and maybe do, like, a couple weeks will all be related to each other. You know, maybe 4 to 6 videos will be related to each other, where they'll build on each other, and then I'll do another topic and do the same thing. Because the plus side of an 8-minute video is that you can get what you're trying to say out there and it's done. The downside to an 8-minute video is you only have a certain amount of time to talk about something that could be more complex than you can make it in an 8-minute video. And unfortunately, I'm kind of maxed out on the amount of time I have to dedicate to making content. Because there's a lot of things I would love to do with this channel. But it's just a matter of trying, where am I going to steal the time from is always the question. It's always a question of where I'm going to steal the time from. And the biggest place I've got to steal time from, I'm not in my studio. That's my lunch break. And I don't necessarily have the ability to go home, record a video, and go back to work. I don't have the time to set up what needs to be set up, break it down when I'm done, and actually do the recording in that time span and make the commute. So it's just one of those things where I've got to figure it out. How much ammo? Okay. I'm down to about 100 ped worth of ammo overall. Although I can't complain. Mind Arc has been really good to me this run. But I will be looking to figure out where I can add more value, more content, do more things. I'm going to continue adding to McBain Manor, the website, which you'll find down in the description, as you always do, and just try to provide that value. You know, whether it's motivational or advice giving or just entertainment because of my Borderlands series, not my Borderlands series, but my Let's Play series, which I know I don't have a huge library yet. That takes time. And I have a nasty habit of, you know, either by design or on accident. Like, I thought Borderlands was going to be a 10-hour game. Oops. I do need to build my library, though, so I've got to find a way to find the time. And I think this winter I'll have more time. Winter is always, like, the place I have time. Because there isn't a lot you can do in Vermont during the winter outside. There's no yard work, except when it snows you get a plow. And so that's really where I'll probably be doing, like, I might build up a buffer of Let's Play videos. You know, there's things that I want to put out there. Like, I've still got the other 2 Crash Bandicoot games to play. I've got some of them, and you even saw one episode. I think it's somewhere on my channel. I got the first episode of Crash 2 out there. But, which I'm going to just restart that when I go to do it. I've got Crash 2 to do. I've got Crash 3 to do. I want to do a Portal run. Maybe that'll be my next Let's Play. I want to do a Portal run. I love Portal. And I feel like that's something that's really missing from my channel, is a Portal run. And so maybe I'll do a Portal run after Borderlands 1, and then after the Portal run, I'll go back and do Borderlands 2. I've got it, although I said that about Crash, and I never actually finished it, although to be fair, I was trying to do too much when I was doing Crash as well. So it's just, I'm going to have to let that build organically. You know, it's not like where I'm playing Entropia Universe. You know, if I didn't do all of the other segments and just focused on Let's Plays, I could probably do a huge library of Let's Plays, but that's not my focus. This is my focus, Entropia Universe. So, it's just one of those things. But I am planning on doing more Let's Plays at some point, and I'm going to continue to put out content, and, you know, it's a blast to do this. It absolutely is. Even when it's under stress, where it's like, you know, it's Saturday morning, I'm doing the Saturday morning vlog. Right? And I know that if I wake up too late, it could come out late. I just have to be aware of that and cognizant of that and push myself to do what I set out to do. And I think that's part of the reason I have done better at goal setting and achieving goals, is because I had some project where I have to push myself to do it, and so I'm more likely to push myself in other places in my life. And I think that's a lesson that's a takeaway from the experiment that this year has been. 2019 has really been an experiment of how can I push myself harder? And I think with that, I've kind of found it. There we go. Oh. Fruit. Oh. Okay. They no longer want to get in, so I'm just... Okay, can you... Got a couple of society applications. I'll go in to approve them. There we go. Note to self, I did not realize that it actually stopped you from... attacking when you went to approve or reject a society application, which, you know, pretty much the rule in the Serial Society is we don't reject anyone. And that's Serial Overdrive's rule, to my knowledge. He's never given me any absolute guidance on it, so my guidance is err on the side of, you know, open acceptance, because that's pretty much in the society rules. And I've been... How long have I been the number 2 in the Serial Society? Pretty much for a year now, I think. There we go. I know that Boss Man's playing a lot of Rust right now. You should check his channel out. He plays Entropia Universe. He does put out content for Entropia Universe. So he has a huge library of Entropia Universe videos. Like, I've gone back and I've watched some of his stuff from like 10 years ago. And he just has a huge library of Entropia Universe videos. But he's currently playing a lot of Rust. And that game is wicked. That game is absolutely wicked. I'm not really my style. I'm not sure that's something that I would personally play. But that's just because of the type of games I go for. I like the idea that you can gather, and there's a lot of base building involved. Base building's not really my thing overall. But it's pretty hardcore. And it's cool stuff. It's cool stuff. Go check out his channel. I strongly recommend it. And I mean, if you're watching my channel, you probably already watch his channel. But if you happened upon my channel for some random reason, you haven't seen Serial Overdrive, go check him out. So, okay, guys, I think I'm going to call it here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and make sure you subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers. Where the hell am I? Oh, that's right. I'm not near Fort Ithaca anymore. Like, where's the space platforms? So they're way over here, because the way the migration rotates. Guys, thank you so much for your support. We will see you next time. Have a wonderful day.